All right, what's going on, guys? We got Thursday Night Football, Bengals at the Ravens. Should be an interesting game. We got a very high over-under for a primetime game of 52.5. Generally, primetime games generally lean towards the under. If you've been watching the last couple of weeks, they've been pretty low scoring. First halves have been quite boring. I don't think we're going to see that tonight. I think we're going to see some pretty action-packed games. I mean, 78% of the bets, 82% of the money are on the over. I would lean towards that. There is a little bit of sharp money on Bengals to cover at 5.5. I don't know if I agree with that, guys. Now, to be totally transparent, I'm a Bengals fan. That said, you know, how I bet with my money is different than where my heart goes. I hope the Bengals win. Let me be very clear. I hope they beat that ass. I don't think that's going to happen, though. If from my money, I'm not putting my money on the Bengals. Let me put it that way. We look at this Baltimore defense. Their biggest thing is passing yards, man. They are allowing a ton of passing yards. Dead last in the league. 281 passing yards a game that they're giving up. 38 passing attempts. 2 passing touchdowns. Those are all 30th or worse in the league. Now, what they do very well, we've already talked about this, rushing yards. Number 1 in the league, 75.7 yards a game, 22 rushing attempts a game. That's third best. Allowing 0.67 rushing touchdowns a game. That's ninth best. Rushing yards per attempt, best in the league at 3.4. They're doing a great job of getting to the quarterback. They are second in the league in quarterback hits at 7.33. 12th in the league in sack percentage. 7.6% of plays result in a sack. Very middle of the road when it comes to picks, though. They're 19th, 1.8% of plays. So not great there. Flip side, the Bengals D, they're just not great at anything, if we're being honest. Very middle of the road. Passing yards, about 213 a game, 17th in the league. Passing attempts a game, right around 33. Rushing yards a game, they're giving up 130.4. That's 18th in the league. Giving up almost 31 rush attempts in the league. That's third worst. Giving up 1.33 rushing touchdowns. That's 29th in the league. So not going great on that. Rushing yards per attempt, I guess, would be a bright spot. They're only allowing 4.2. That's seventh best. Quarterback hits, they're at 6.11. That's not great. That's in the bottom third of the league. Sack percentage, 5.3%. Not great. So not doing a lot of things well defensively, if we're being honest. So that's kind of what leads me to believe we should have a shootout here. Joey B should be able to pass on this defense. I think Lamar's going to have some success. You got to think from the Bengals side, they're going to try to stop Derrick Henry. So they're going to be putting Nate in the box at times. It's going to open up lanes for Lamar to either run or throw. So I do like his over passing yards. But ultimately, I mean, I do see this being a high-scoring game. I don't necessarily want to touch that 53.5, right? I might alt-line it down. Let's go like over 47, Baltimore minus 2.5. Most likely, I haven't looked up the odds on that, but that's probably something I will play tonight. Let's get into our best bets here. I'll talk you guys through it. So the first one's going to be their new acquisition for the Ravens, Deontay Johnson, over 1.5 receptions. I think they're going to try to break him in early. The lines on this are all over the place. It's minus 135 on DraftKings. It's minus 249 on Underdog. Minus 160 on BetMGM, minus 174 on Caesar. So books heavily skewed towards this. I love this. We're getting great value at minus 135. So more of a value play. Joey B over 2.5 rushing attempts. Like I said, I think they are going to try to pressure the Bengals, and I think they're going to have success. The O-line's not fantastic, right? I mean, they're giving up a lot of QB hits, and the Ravens are very good at getting QB hits, and their sack percentage is pretty good. So Burrow's going to be flushed out of the pocket. So I like him to go over 2.5 rush attempts. Let's go Chase Brown over 15.5 rush attempts. I think we're seeing some discount on this line. If we look last week, he had 27 attempts versus Vegas. Obviously, an entirely different game, but Bengals can't completely abandon the run. I know they just got Khalil Herbert from the Bears. I don't love that play, but I don't think it's going to have a massive impact on Brown this week. So I like his over 15.5 rush attempts. You could have got this at 14.5 this morning. I was not quick enough to get it. I didn't see it until it had already changed, unfortunately. Lamar Jackson over 233.5 passing yards. Like I said, I think it's going to be an offensive shootout. I think you know, the way I see the Bengals game plan, they're going to stop Derrick Henry. They're going to try anyway. So they're going to load the box, going to open up avenues. So kind of a correlation play to the last play. So I'll jump down to the last play, actually. Zay Flowers over 60.5 receiving yards. I love this spot for him. I could see him getting 80, 90 yards potentially, but we'll just go with the over 60.5. Last play is going to be Derrick Henry over 17.5 rush attempts. Thought about taking his over 89.5 rush yards. I just like this. We look at the last 3 weeks. Derrick Henry's gone 24, 24, and 23 attempts over the last 3 weeks. Went 18 4 weeks ago, and then went in the low 20s prior to that. So he's over this in 4 or 5. Bengals, like I said, they're just not great at anything defensively, so they're just not going to completely abandon the run. If you're Baltimore, especially if they get a nice big lead, they're going to really lean on Henry. So love this over 17.5. I think we're getting good value here. This is usually 18.5, 19.5. So like the value there. But this is how I see the game, guys. Comment down below if you see things different, or if you think there's some plays that should be added for the community. I did look at Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. It's like minus 300. So we're not going to be touching that. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Helps us grow. And I will catch you guys in the next video.